Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the Scottish Power Women's Premier League on BBC Sports Scotland this afternoon as the SWPL restarts for 2024. A league split in sight. There may still be a long way until May, but this is where important momentum begins again in the season, with titles, trophies and tumbles to be decided. On the team news, Celtic make 3 changes from their Scottish Cup win away to Ayr United. Goldie, McInerney and Smith drop to subs. Captain Kelly Clark comes in with Monglue and Tyree Birchall. Lucy Ashworth-Clifford was back in the bench last Sunday and is again today, with Celtic fans hoping to see her first appearance in just under 14 months. Montrose make 1 change, with Craig Feroz bringing in Claire Delworth, recently of Dundee United, to make her debut after signing through the week. The only change from the Scottish Cup win against Stenhousemuir last Sunday, Erin Ross moves to the bench, alongside other new signings Nyla Murphy and Charlie Creamer. And Demi Taylor has 2 goals in her last 2 league games. Celtic currently managerless, with Fran Alonso departing in for Houston Dash of the NWSL in the USA. David Haley takes charge again this afternoon, after doing so in the Scottish Cup victory away to Ayr United last Sunday. Montrose will kick us off. Louise Brown ready to get the ball rolling. This afternoon's referee is Gary Hanvidge, and off we go at the Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie. Scottish Women's Premier League action back again for the new year. I'm delighted to say, joining me this afternoon in Airdrie, former Scotland international and of Glasgow City and Celtic, Suzanne Lappin. Suzanne, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for Celtic. Fran Alonso departing in the middle of December, just as we were approaching into the break, so there's not been too much discussion about the events, but Celtic announcing on Friday Elena Sadiku to take charge as of tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think, Fran Alonso, obviously been here a long time at Celtic, it'll be a bit of a transition for the players, losing their manager. I think Fran, was great for the Scottish game. I think him and his players, were a real unit. He had a lot of success, particularly in the Cups. But, as a player, a new manager coming in, she's watching here today. She starts officially, I think, tomorrow. So the players will be keen to impress.
Imagine Celtic have stuck the new boss in a back door somewhere to take in the action. Shane Monglue gets ready to clip the ball in. Montrose will clear only as far as Colette Kavanagh now. Amy Gallagher will line up the strike. It's right at Lauren Perry, the Montrose goalkeeper, and she'll be happy to have that one in her hands. Taking charge of Celtic today, David Haley, a huge part of Celtic women down the years, from the academy to the first team. Continues today. After that announcement, he'll remain in the assistant position. Celtic look to keep some consistency, as it's very unusual to lose a manager midway through the season, especially when you're competing for the title and when things have been clicking and rolling so smoothly. Fran Alonso's style really set again with all the goal scoring that Celtic have managed to provide this season in the league. But consistency will be a key word, Suzanne, as Celtic look to just continue, have that continuity of the way they play, the style they play, that attacking emphasis.
Yeah, I think the players Celtic have got, naturally they'll keep that type of football going. I think, as you say, it's really important, particularly in this second half of the season, that, 1, you're consistent, and 2, you get off to a really good start. So I know the players, off the back of the game against Ayr last week, a good result, but I think this is, the league is the one that's escaped Celtic so far, and I think it's so important that, as players, they will want this one, they will want to win this one, and, a new manager coming in, I don't think she'll try and change too much too soon, and as you say, with David Healy there, keeping that consistency and rhythm for the players as well.
Caitlin Hayes on the ball for Celtic. Montrose will look to get back into position. That one evades Harkin. Touched out there by Tally Robb. And there's David Haley on the right of your screen. Had a look at the action early in this one. Montrose kicked off their first top flight campaign in the SWPL against Celtic back in August. At Links Park, it was a flag day for them all with the SWPL 2 trophy on show that day after their second tier title success. Monglu whips one towards goal and evades Penny completely. It's a superb strike from Shane Monglu, and it's a sensational start for Celtic. They take the lead early in this one. Celtic 1, Montrose 0, just a few minutes on the clock.
Yeah, what a great goal from Monglu. You know, that's what she's capable of. You know, she sticks wide, great control, cuts in onto her right foot, and you know, I don't think any goalkeeper stopping that. It's right into the top corner. Great play from Celtic. You know, great start. Not 5 minutes on the clock yet, and they're already 1 goal to the good.
She didn't play in the Scottish Cup win against Ayr last weekend. An unused sub in that one. Fresh for this one. And the first goal for the restart for Celtic in the league campaign. Showing absolutely no signs of rust. And we're just talking about the difficult start Craig Ferro's side had at the start of the season. One thing, with that fresh in mind, you won't want to have lost an early goal like that. Shen finding so much space. Here's Delworth, new signing for Montrose, back to McLaren. Just tries to get it out from her studs. Montrose have been on a very solid run recently. Haven't lost in their last 3-2 wins in those fixtures. That Scottish Cup one last weekend, and a big win against Dundee United too at home. A draw against Spartans just as the league went into the winter pause. Here's Tammy Harkin out wide. Montrose look to respond. Kelsey Docherty can see that one cleanly. Shen moves for Hayes. Monglu is in so much space on this near side, and that's where the ball ends up. Delworth coming across to defend. Monglu, will she go right? She goes left. Waits on support. Craig providing. She'll spread the ball for Caitlin Hayes. Louise Brown tried to get a foot in. Monglu has it again. Clipped high off the head of Gallagher. Burchell was at the back. It looked like a quality clipped ball in from Shane Monglu there. A couple to aim for in Gallagher and Burchell.
Yeah, it was a good ball in. Again, Monglu finding the space out here on the left hand side. I think, you know, Delworth has got to get closer. It's clearly a partner play that Celtic are trying to utilise. You know, that diagonal from Hayes, and you know, so far Monglu's causing problems either from our own direct shots or, you know, a great ball into the box.
Partido with the throw for Shen. Now Hayes. Tidy play. Will she look for that diagonal once again for Monglu? There's so much space on that side. She's in the area. The cutback looking for Gallagher. Georgia Carter is the defender clearing. Celtic will sweep up again. Now it's Hayes who has the space. Partido. Montrose just losing track in these early stages. Burchell spinning away from Robb. Tally Robb showing her strength to recover. Montrose will have the throw. I spoke about the difficult start there for Montrose in the league campaign. 6 straight defeats to begin, but that Montrose resilience prevailed. A 3-1 win against Dundee United away changed things and momentum for Craig Ferro's side. They've taken points in 6 out of the last 10 games. There's a narrow 1-0 away to Glasgow City in there too. Just so as they start to get to grips with the competition in the top flight. Chloe Craig for Celtic. high line of attack. Montrose and Natalie Ross scored a double in the Scottish Cup win last Sunday. Here's Hayes, plenty of options, drills the ball through, and Ross is there, and that's a great stop from Lauren Perry. A scream towards her defence. She feels that ball should never have been allowed to slide through so easily, and top goalkeeping keeps the score at 1-0.
Yeah, that's far too easy. You know, a ball coming straight from Caitlin Hayes right through the heart of the defence, and Natalie Ross making a great run, but you know, Perry stood firm for her team.
Corner's high, goes out of play. Natalie Ross looking for her 5th league goal of the season there. Lauren Perry, Northern Ireland international, had a really tough time in recent seasons through injury, recovered from an ACL injury. I remember seeing her in her Forfar Farmington days, where she was such a big part of their top flight campaign that time. It's good to see the Montrose goalkeeper be a steady part of Craig Ferro's side this season after those injury problems. Another top stopper to have in the Scottish Women's Premier League. Georgia Carter wins the throw for Montrose. They'll worth to take. Guthrie. Some shouts for a free kick, but the referee happy to let play continue. Shen slides for Hayes. Caitlin Hayes will surge forward. Lovely pass through for Montrose. Two arriving in the area again for Celtic. It's towards the third, who's Partido at the back. On loan, Real Madrid winger. Goes for the byline. Lovely skill. The cross is dangerous. Montrose get that one away to safety for now. Celtic making really good use of the space in the wide area, Suzanne.
Yeah, again, you know, the ball coming from Caitlin Hayes, who's getting a lot of time and space just to, you know, either drive into the midfield or pick her passes. Again to Montrose, who I think actually chose the wrong option in that occasion. I think that the space was to go to the byline. Partido, though, who's maybe not had the ball as much in the opening 10 minutes or so, but again showing her qualities, you know, using her skill and getting a great ball into the box.
Partido touches it back for Hayes. Again trying to fire that one through. It's worked a couple of times, so why not? There's a possibility with Montrose just keeping their eyes on the runners and the players moving around the penalty area. They will get lost in tracking those, and that will open up the space for Celtic to get the ball through. As we approach the 12th minute, Montrose with the early goal. Celtic lead 1-0. Partido. Sex. Crosses high. Perry punches away. It drops for Amy Gallagher. Laid off for Kavanagh. Saved by Perry. She managed to find that shooting position, Colette Kavanagh. A lot of bodies to look through to stretch her fingertips to it. Kavanagh again. Craig. He's invited. It's Montrose on the ball now. They look to try and keep a hold of possession. Louise Brown is the advanced option there for Kelly Clark. Back into the Celtic side. Just there to get the ball away. Shen from Montrose. Soft touch for Amy Gallagher. Brilliant footwork to stop the ball, to set the ball and then score. And Celtic have a second.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal. You know, well worked, patient play, great build up. I think it was Mengu playing it wide, and you know, Amy Gallagher, she's always alert. She's always got great composure in and around that box, and Montrose just with the touch, and Gallagher quick feet and into the back of the net. And you know, someone who's, you know, been in great goal scoring form in the first half of the season. You know, Celtic will be looking to her to continue that on.
Celtic's top goal scorer this season. She was also top goal scorer last season with 20, and that is her 20th in this campaign in all competitions, her 17th in the league. There may be changes in the dugout, but there's no change to that Celtic style, that Celtic way of playing, that Celtic way of scoring. They immediately want to get back on the front foot again. Caitlin Hayes with a pass too powerful for Partido.
Yeah, I think Celtic look really well organised. You know, they're zipping the ball out. They've come out with real purpose. You know, I think that naturally comes when you know you've got a new manager sitting on the sideline watching. You know, they're clearly eager to impress. And you know, we touched on Amy Gallagher there, and our goals and our numbers this season are phenomenal. And you know, I think we can safely say she's probably on to get 30 plus goals this season, which is, you know, great to see. I think she really deserved a call up into the Scotland setup, and you know, as a country it's great for us to have a player in that form.
Like Kavanagh turns away from Jade McLaren, sliding. The referee has a look. McLaren, I believe her, as she won the ball. The referee wasn't though. Celtic get it moving. Partido with a stumble. Demi Taylor in the way. Partido was in terrific creative form in the big win against Aberdeen back in 2023. Hayes has it as an option again. Push central. Shen with no one around. Gallagher. Quick look from Monglu. And she goes to the penalty area. Gallagher will pick up. Closed down by Delworth. McLaren now. Chip it out wide into a safer space. Kavanagh makes the move for Chloe Craig. Caitlin Hayes. Cushioned out to Partido, who picks up the pace. Taylor watching. Aim for Louise Brown, who gets a good head to the ball there. Clark came sliding in, and now the play will be brought back for the Montrose free kick, and a yellow card for Kelly Clark. But it was brilliant work by Louise Brown, just getting her head to the ball first, and that touch, ready to set herself forward.
Yeah, I don't think Kelly Clark can have any arguments there with the yellow card. As you say, Louise Brown was brave and got there first, and you know, our team will need her to do that all day long. You know, win those balls, win those nicks, and you know, an opportunity for Montrose to put the ball in the box.
Harkin takes. It's high. Doherty comes out, and there's a couple of collisions in the box. The referee has awarded the free kick to Celtic. Let's have another look at that phase.
For me, I don't think that's a free kick. You know, it's totally accidental. You know, and just relieves Celtic of the pressure.
Seemed to be one of those where the ball's high and everyone seems to have their eye on the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's looking and focused on the ball, and I think, you know, Caitlin Hayes and maybe Louise Brown, their legs just come together there. I didn't think it was a foul.
Monglu at the other end teases the ball over, the header down from Natalie Ross. Celtic are finding that way through with a couple of different routes. As we creep towards the midway point, goals from Shen Monglu and Amy Gallagher. Brown battles with Clark again. Louise Brown has a fair bit of top flight experience from her time at Aberdeen back in the 21-22 season. played at Pittodrie in the match against Rangers. A really important player for Craig Ferros this season. A few goals, few assists to her name in the League Two. A bit of a tough situation before other footballing choices, but has found the enjoyment again playing under Ferros at Montrose. Craig for Celtic and Monglu. Montrose getting themselves back into position. Kavanagh, quick flick for Shen. Tidy play, collect Kavanagh, unleashes a bullet, saved by Perry. Shen. Hayes. Partido peeling away. Clips the ball high. It's over the head of Gallagher. Carter heads down. Partido picks up again. Becoming an interesting battle out on that right side. Gallagher. Headed through for Ross. Will she get there? She keeps it in play. Gallagher again. Celtic always moving. Plenty asking for the ball. And Shen is clattered into, and that will be a free kick for the home side, and in a dangerous area too.
Yeah, it was good play from Celtic there, good interchange, and Shen just gets there first, wins a free kick for her team and in a good area.
Scored her second of the season last Sunday. A smooth strike for Celtic's fourth in the Scottish Cup. There's plenty to choose from for Amy Gallagher from this free kick. Congested 6-yard area. 3 waiting outside 2. Carter was one of the defenders up at the front post to help Montrose clear. Now Celtic have a corner.
Yeah, they're so strong from set pieces, Celtic. I think, you know, that's one of their biggest advantages that they hold. You know, you look at the aerial threat they pose between Clark, Hayes and Chloe Craig, you know, and Amy Gallagher in and around there as well. It's, you know, a really powerful threat for Celtic.
It's went back the way. Kavanagh with a change of angle. Montrose are 2 on 3. What can they create here? Guthrie. Partido powerful, getting her body in front, just too much for Niamh Guthrie. Brown will chase down the Celtic goalkeeper, Kelsey Doherty. Heavy touch from Kelly Clark. Celtic get away with that one there.
Yeah, they absolutely do. You know, that was Celtic's corner. You know, Montrose end up in their penalty box. You know, certainly if I was one of the 3 defenders, I wouldn't have been happy that that ball was played short.
And Louise Brown looks like she's in a bit of trouble as she's back on her feet now on the right side penalty area, just trying to shake off that challenge. Celtic moving forward. Ross slides the ball through for Partido. The cutback will only go as far as Jade McLaren. And Holly Daniel will take away. Hayes steals. Quick play with Gallagher. It's Caitlin Hayes, and it's in the back of the net. Celtic have a third. Looks to see who will claim the final touch. Tyree Burchell takes the applause, but whichever way it happened, Celtic have number 3 in the first half, just over the midway point.
Yeah, again, it's, you know, Caitlin Hayes starting the move. She's, you know, for a defender by trade, she's so comfortable on the ball, she's so comfortable driving forward, and, you know, she's got a great eye for a pass as well. Great interchange with Amy Gallagher, and, you know, the ball fired across and Tyree Burchell there to finish.
Elena Sariku there watches on as Tyree Burchell scores her 5th goal of the season. It'll be impressive watching for the new Celtic head coach, set to take over fully tomorrow. play opened up from that stage of the Montrose attack up the other end. Celtic just moving it around, finding those spaces as they do, and Tyree Burchell all alone. Managed to get the touch and put the ball into the net. Celtic now look for a fourth. Kavanagh for Shen. Burchell. Craig. Is there an opportunity for Montrose here? Guthrie tries to angle it away from the Celtic defence for Brown, who looks to have shaken off that earlier knock successfully.
Yeah, it's such a hard task for Louise Brown up there on her own. You know, that's the difficulty when Montrose do win possession. You know, they're struggling to get bodies up with the play.
Elena Sadiku signing a 2.5-year contract with Celtic, leaving a position within Everton Women's Academy. Represented Sweden as a player, retired early with injury issues, but she has a heavy coaching experience for her age. A real focus on academy and youth too. And Celtic have had a number of players come through in recent years through their academy, taking their opportunities, making landmarks with debuts and goals. That's something that seems set to continue within the system. Tammy Harkin takes away from Monglu. Chloe Craig will have the throw in. Quickly back to Kelly Clark. Now Hayes. Burchell under pressure. Tidy footwork. Gallagher ends up with the ball. Tries to slide it through to Ross. McLaren takes a clip on the back of the heel. Montrose will have the free kick. One thing for Montrose, Suzanne, they have lost the 3 goals in this first half so far, but they haven't allowed Celtic to still keep that flowing momentum after each goal. They've managed to kind of reset themselves after each one, and I've even had a couple of opportunities with leaving Louise Brown up top to try and put the defence under a bit of pressure. Yeah,
I think that, Montrose, we were speaking before the game, I think they're a team, they're very difficult to beat. They'll not give in easily. They all work for each other, and we've seen when they've been playing other games in the league how competitive they are, and as I think from an attacking front, they just need to try and get more support up towards Louise Brown and Gammy when they do win the ball, make the most of the opportunities they get to get the ball in the box as well.
As you see there, Celtic will remain patient, they'll stick to what they do. Those openings will be present, and they have another corner here. Shen to take. It's out to Kavanagh in space. Partido on the edge of the D. Montrose steal again. Gammy. Guthrie just couldn't get the ball clipped through. Kavanagh. Paula Partido. Skips out wide. Shen has to react fast. Monglu. Claren comes out to close down. Celtic still have it. They'll drag Montrose from side to side. He gets there first. Burchell, neat little back heel. Didn't reach Natalie Ross. David Haley will be delighted with what he saw from his players in this first half hour.
Yeah, I think he will be. They've started really well. They're, as I said before, the intensity they're moving the ball around is really good. I think their only downfall so far has been, the decision of 2 short corners. Which, I'd be surprised if we see
Birchall unleashes a strike that clatters off the crossbar. What a hit that was. And it looked destined to drop into the net. But the woodwork's still shaking.
Yeah, it was a great strike from Tyree Birchall. It's great to see as well from her, a young player, real hunger, and showing there what she's capable of. A fine strike, and I'm lucky to see it come off the woodwork.
Ross skipping the challenges. Monglu around to help out if she can find her. She does. 4 in the box for Celtic. Craig. Roll to Shen. And again for Hayes. Partido away from McLaren. Celtic really putting the pressure on here. Clark for Craig. Lovely movement. Kavanagh can't find Gallagher. Daniel tried to get on the end of the ball. Montrose will move forward. Brown the aim, but it's behind her. And lands at the feet of Kelly Clark. It just shows you how important that final pass in the midfield through to the forward area is, Suzanne.
Yeah, it is, and I sometimes think they've got more time as well on the ball, that they don't need to rush that. I appreciate, football's a very difficult game when you've not got the ball. You're using so much energy, working so hard for each other, that when you win it back, it's difficult to find that energy to then use it, in a decent fashion. And but I think that might be the message from Craig to his players is, when we win it back, be a bit more patient in the sort of build up.
Birchall certainly impressing Elena Sadiku, who's watching on up in the main stand with that one. Craig tries an effort of her own. Perry pushes away. Demi Taylor finds some space to look for Brown. From battling with Kelly Clark now to battling with Caitlin Hayes. She'll keep chasing though. Craig with the pass for Shen. Partido takes. Kavanagh spots Chloe Craig. She'll strike again. Can't place that one in the top right corner. Chloe Craig on superb goal scoring form this season. Can't add to her account with that one.
Yeah, she's unlucky. I think she knew she had time and space, so she was eager to get it out and get the strike away. I think this occasion just perhaps leaning back slightly takes the ball over the crossbar.
Harkin heads on. Brown will pick up. She went for the early effort. Guthrie was coming up the left shoulder. Maybe some communication needed to make Brown aware of that. Longlu will take now. And touched out as Montrose will reset. Charlotte Gammy having to do defensive work there. Last season's top goal scorer with 14. Been huge since returning to Montrose, Charlotte Gammy, but games like this, there's so much to be said for the defensive side for a forward player. Such an important part in the strategy for Craig Ferroz. It's that movement that will leave Louise Brown a bit isolated up top. Celtic certainly not in isolation in the forward area. Plenty in the green and white hoops. Away the ball from Chloe Craig. When Brown takes the touch. Kavanagh got her toes to it. Celtic move it well again. Ross. Gallagher. Shen into the box. Natalie Ross now gets it on goal, and that just drops past the post. And with the number of Montrose bodies around the penalty area, it still drops to Celtic, and Natalie Ross there. And she just tries to take it quickly. She knows she's being closed down.
Yeah, I think she's done the right thing there. As you say, there's a lot of bodies in and around the box. I think that's where Celtic can maybe, you know, take one or two touches less and just try and get that strike away a bit earlier. And Natalie Ross is unlucky there, where she sees her effort just go wide of the post.
Demi Taylor trying to release Holly Daniel. Brown will have it. Daniel will race onto it. Brown looks to get into a position. Strong defending from Caitlin Hayes. Montrose have a corner though. That will encourage them.
Yeah, absolutely will. You know, a chance to get the ball in the box. You know, the centre halves will come up, and you know they need a good delivery here and, you know, really attack the ball.
Montrose have had a couple direct from corners recently. Demi Taylor with one of those against Spartans. This one drops straight to Kavanagh. Delworth wanted to have an effort. Carter brings Kavanagh down, and that will be another yellow card shown, second of the afternoon. To the way of Georgia Carter of Montrose. One of those possibly smart defending decisions after being up for a corner, Suzanne.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Kavanagh is breaking away, and you know, I think sometimes you need to make those fouls as a defender, and you know, the referee out with the yellow card, which again I don't think, you know, Carter can have any complaints about.
Delworth gives Brown something to chase. Craig gives it straight to Guthrie. Shen was aware. Daniel on the shoulder of Hayes, but the Celtic defender does well to look around and play the pass to Partido. Gallagher unmarked. Burchell the most advanced, and it drops to Tyree Burchell, but the flag is raised by the assistant. Tyree Burchell thought she had a double. Did she make the move too early?
It was a great ball from Amy Gallagher again, and you know, I think that's the sort of ball she would love to be getting played in. It's hard to see from that angle, but again, good movement from Tyree Burchell. I think she's a player who, you know, in the first half of the season we saw glimpses of what she can do. You know, still young, and I think she's got a great future ahead of her.
A lot of credit for the path that she's taken recently, going out on loan as well. A big performance for Motherwell on a loan spell. The Scottish Cup semi-final has put her in a position to come back and threaten again for Celtic here. She still recovers. Gallagher is just behind Kavanagh. She'll still get there. Shen strikes, and that whistles past the post. And Celtic, as we approach further towards the half-time interval, are looking for more goals.
Yeah, they are, and you know, a great strike from Shen. You know, difficult for Perry to see that through lots of bodies. Great pace and power, and Shen's unfortunate to see it go past the post.
Some notes to take for Craig Ferros. His focus maybe turning towards that team talk at the break to try and regroup his players and touch on a couple of the positives from their play in this first half. I just look to reinforce the instructions defensively too. A tough touch for Jade McLaren there. Will hand the ball back to Celtic. It's Craig advancing. Monglu. move. Blocked by the sliding Georgia Carter. Celtic corner. It's such an important part to the way Celtic play. That pace, that trickery on either wing. Monglu always one that's difficult for opposition defenders to deal with in the SWPL. Natalie Ross stands over the corner. Lauren Perry standing out in a queue on the goal line. Dipped at the front. Delworth had to turn it behind. Former Dundee United and Hearts defender. A difficult start at our new club. Trying to prevent a fourth goal for Celtic. It's on top. Just clips behind. And we spoke about Montrose scoring direct from a couple of corners this season. Natalie Ross not too far away from doing so there.
Yeah, it's a difficult corner to execute that one, where everyone's on the goal line. You've got to be totally precise with your delivery. And Natalie Ross, unfortunately, at that time it clips the bar. But I think ideally she's trying to aim for one of the three centre defenders that have came up.
Burchell for Gallagher. She's on her own at the moment. Support arriving now. Robb sticks with Gallagher. And Celtic have another corner. Robb featured in every league game for Montrose this season. A lot of belief in the youngster from Craigferros. Big future ahead of her. Celtic with so many options from the set piece. Shen crosses towards Craig. Header always rising. Still searching for a goal this afternoon. 10 in the league already this season.
Yeah, I think Chloe Craig has showed how much of a threat she is at attacking set pieces. A lot of her goals this season have came from that, either on the first delivery or been in and around the second delivery, and unfortunately in that occasion just gets underneath the ball and goes over the crossbar.
Charlotte Gammy with a neat move. She's screaming for Niamh Guthrie to move forward. Space opens up for Brown. Takes it well and was just trying to cross it over to Holly Daniel, who was moving into the 6-yard area. But Louise Brown again showing what she can do with so little that's on offer. It's a lovely pass forward, taken well on the chest.
Yeah, it was a great take. I actually thought she might, after her chest, take it first time and have the strike. But again, doing so well for her team, and another opportunity to get the ball in the box. And for Montrose, it'd be a great time to get a goal back in the game.
All but one outfield player forward. McLaren, Carter, up to attack. Docherty does well. She had to claw that one away off her goal line. A lot of players around that area. Montrose showing that they can threaten. Celtic can punish on the counter-attack with players out of position. Burchell. Monglu collects. Hayes, Gallagher. And she just slices that one wide. Took a bit of a knock in the process of the strike. The referee just making sure that Amy Gallagher is okay. Craigferros will be happy with the end to the first half if it was to stay this way, but you still know, Suzanne, that Celtic play right till that whistle blows into the added on time. They never rest.
Yeah, no, they will, but I think, as you say, Craigferros will try and focus on the positives. They've managed to create a few opportunities of their own near the end of this first half. And again, they've shown from the quality of the delivery they can put in from set pieces as well. I'm sure he'll be desperate for his team to not concede again before the half-time whistle goes.
Shen. Delworth managed to get toes to it. McLaren will fire it up into the right channel for Brown to chase. And Kelly Clark's pass is off from Chloe Craig. Did mention the Celtic captain coming back into the team. Didn't feature in that Scottish Cup victory against Ayr United away. One of a few that Celtic are just getting back into the action. Mentioned earlier, Lucy Ashworth-Clifford on the bench. Just under 14 months since she suffered that ACL injury in the 0-0 draw with Rangers back in November 2022. Kitleferski, another that Celtic were maybe hoping could be around the squad, but isn't today. McLaren teases the ball over. Daniel had a look, but allowed Caitlin Hayes the time to make a decision. Tally Robb will get across first. Intelligent play to just allow the midfield players to get back and help out the defensive line.
Yeah, again, it's great play from Caitlin Hayes. Spots the run of Ross, but that's the half-time whistle.
On the 45th minute, and it's been a first half for Celtic to be delighted with. Here's the goals. Started by Shen Mong Lu, who found the space to lift a wonderful shot into the top right corner. Shen Mong Lu involved again. A lovely touch from Amy Gallagher to set and round the goalkeeper. And Caitlin Hayes starting the build up, continuing it, and Tyree Burchell was there to tap in on the goal line. 3 for Celtic in the first half. Burchell did add a fourth, but was denied by the offside flag raised on the far side. And the first SWPL game without Fran Alonso for Celtic, and the new manager Elena Sadiku in the stand. Suzanne, everything is going just as they would have wanted so far.
Yeah, it is. 3 goals to the good, 3 great goals at that, good team goals. They're moving the ball well, and I think Elena Sadiku will be pleased with what she's seen. She's going to inherit a really, really strong squad, good experience, good youth, and a team who are desperate to go on and win the league.
Looking at Montrose and Craig Ferros, the one thing you probably would have stressed to the players, you imagine, is to keep things tight in the beginning. Don't allow an early goal. They did lose an early goal, but we've seen teams in the first half, even here against Celtic, kind of fail to recover from that, and Celtic get their way for the rest of the game. He'll be happier with the way the 45 minutes have went overall. What will he be looking for in the second half?
Yeah, I think he'll be relatively pleased that the floodgates haven't opened and Celtic haven't scored more than the 3 goals. I think he'll be looking for his team when they do win that possession in the middle area, is just how well they can use the ball better. Sometimes they're just hitting it into corners for Louise Brown to chase, and that's a thankless task for her. I think he needs his team to sort of carry the ball and come up together, and the pitch is a unit, and when they do get opportunities to put the ball in the box, they've shown that they've got quality players, quality delivery, and he'll be looking to try and capitalise on that.
As it stands for Celtic, they are looking towards that top spot in the SWPL table on the return for 2024 ahead of Rangers' match against Dundee United later in the afternoon. But still 45 minutes to play at the Excelsior Stadium. Montrose have had a couple of opportunities to threaten an interesting second half ahead. Join us again, Suzanne and I will take a short break for now, but half time in Airdrie. It's currently Celtic 3, Montrose 0. Welcome back to the Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie, where at half-time it's currently Celtic 3, Montrose 0. Managerless Celtic with a solid first half, on course for 3 points in the first league match back after the winter break. In the first league match of 2024, Tyree Birchall, one of the scorers from the first half, about to get us underway for the second, and Celtic get the ball rolling, and they'll be looking to inject that same intensity and pace that they brought at the start of the first half. Montrose an opportunity to regroup, had a couple of flurries forward at the end of that first 45 minutes, and we're looking to press high and put Celtic under pressure, just as they've done here, as Niamh Guthrie looks to get something on that for Holly Daniel to chase down, and Celtic's Caitlin Hayes will see it over for the goal kick. Niamh Guthrie, former Dundee United forward, grandfather well known at Montrose. Partido couldn't get a hold of that one with the left foot, flicks it out of play. And Demi Taylor scored a couple of goals in her last 2 league games for Montrose. A superb drive in the win against Dundee United. It was fantastic technique, that one. Then direct from a corner in the draw with Spartans. You can already see in the opening minutes Niamh Guthrie setting the tone for Montrose, scrapping away for possession, and Colette Kavanagh accepts the invitation to do the same for Celtic, as we've seen her do so throughout the years. Clark for Hayes. Kelly Clark once more. Partido will hold. Turns back towards the defence. Given away. Brown's header down. Possibly looks as there's been a bit of a change for Montrose at the break. Suzanne Lappin joins me in commentary for this one this afternoon. Holly Daniel rushing forward the ball, but there's a couple of options up there, and maybe a bit of a reshuffle with Louise Brown on the right side of the attack. Charlotte Gammy now playing through the middle. Yeah, they have, and you can see, that they're trying to press high as well. Celtic like to play it out from the back, and I think the message has clearly been, put them under a little bit of pressure. Louise Brown now out on the right hand side, to put in a power of work in that first half, and you'll be looking for Gammy through the middle to offer a bit of the same in the second half. Paula Partido, dangerous ball over, it's taken away from Perry by Carter, and luckily for Montrose there was no one around in green and white hoops to sweep up. Celtic will start again from the back. Chloe Craig advancing. Hong-Yu Monglu exchange. Gallagher sees Birchall there to nod in. All alone again, Tyree Birchall. She thought she had a double in the first half. It was ruled out by the offside flag, but she makes sure of it in the second. And Celtic again with a fast start. It's Celtic 4, Montrose 0. Yeah, again, great play. It's that movement from Amy Gallagher, turning and spinning, and Minglu finds her, and it's a great cross from her left foot, and Tyree Birchall isn't going to miss that opportunity in with the head, and now on course for her hat-trick. Her 6th goal in the league this season. This is only her 3rd start in the SWPL this campaign. She's had to be patient, and she's taken the opportunity, and in front of Elena Sadiku, who's set to be in charge as of tomorrow. She's watching this one up in the back of the stands, and Tyree Birchall is showing her value to the new boss in this one. So much quality around the Celtic side. She's getting to see that at the moment. Shen. Cut out that one by Brown. Long Lu just running off the shoulder. Shen nods it down for Gallagher. Now Kavanagh. Partido. Receives back from Shen. Celtic not letting the ball stop spinning. Monglu. Kavanagh plays in between Clark and Hayes. Shen. Monglu. Still driving. Off the ankle of Gallagher. Monglu can't find shooting space at the moment. Delworth stuck a foot out. Celtic overrun it, and Montrose will have the goal kick.
Yeah, I think there again, Monglu, she's always cutting in that right hand side, and I think there she's maybe guilty of, overplaying it. Celtic look to be getting their biggest joy when they move it with the 1 and 2 touches, and unfortunately a bit overplaying it in that occasion.
Celtic coaching team keeping warm there. For hot drinks. David Haley relaxed, just with some instructions for his players, as Jade McLaren is down injured at the moment. She's another to feature in every top flight game for Montrose this season. She's an important part of the first team. A number of years at Dundee United, and the SWPL 2 title there. One that Craig Ferros describes as being a leader in the side. That's how important she is. She always chips in with goals wherever she is too.
So far in the game, she's played quite a key role, just trying to break up the play of Celtic as well. And there was a couple of occasions in the first half where she was making the interceptions, and you can see that she's got that experience and calm head when she gets the ball.
Sadiku there, and that looks like a very tactical conversation. Celtic supporters excited to see how her side will look for the rest of this season. Eyes on first SWPL title. Montrose eyes on keeping focused in this one. They'll try and work their way up into attack. Claire Delworth has the throw. Fired forward. Craig helps it back into the middle. Natalie Ross now takes over. Kelsey Doherty had to claw across away early in the first half. Georgia Carter's header down. McLaren, who looks okay, trying to take possession. Monglu here for Celtic. She's away from Louise Brown, who manages to get back. There's a renewed energy in Montrose though, Suzanne, just not letting the scoreline get to them. They're just sticking to what the instruction will be from Craig for us. Yeah,
they are, and they're closer to the opposition in this half as well. There was far too many occasions in the first half where Celtic players were receiving the ball in acres of space, and you can see they've got a bit more shape about them. They're not giving Celtic players as much time and space on the ball, and that's clearly been the message from my manager at half time.
Burchell, brilliant body position to give her options and move away with the ball. Ross chipped up for Partido. Demi Taylor got a touch. Celtic have a corner. Signal for Craig, Clark and Hayes to join the attack. We did see Celtic crowd the 6-yard area in the first half from these corner kicks. A different option at the moment. Shen drills over. Away from Partido. Kavanagh unleashes! What a strike from Colette Kavanagh. It's a 5th for Celtic and a 5th league goal for Kavanagh this season. Celtic's goal scoring continues. Celtic 5, Montrose 0.
That's a fantastic strike. You know, that's a difficult technique, that, you know, when the ball's coming across. But she's met it really, really well. I think Montrose have been distracted, guilty of not, you know, covering the edge of the box, focused on the height in the penalty area, and Kavanagh, you know, such a sweet strike into the bottom corner, and, you know, Perry's got no chance.
The last league goal was in the big win here against Aberdeen at the end of November. She scored with a sharp strike in the Scottish Cup last Sunday, but that one was even sharper. One she's delighted with too. And it just shows that Celtic quality. Montrose starting the second half with that plan in mind and just the renewed freshness that we spoke about. But Celtic take advantage of a couple of opportunities. That's how ruthless they are. And they will continue that way for the remainder of the game. Delworth happy to take that one off the toes of Monglu.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them even in that occasion there. You know, when Celtic break, you know, there's 6 Montrose players out of the game. You know, that'll be difficult to sustain. You know, if Montrose keep pressing the way they are, eventually, you know, Celtic with the quality they possess will cut you open and create more opportunities.
Monglu, was she clipped? The referee Gary Hanvich has a look. Celtic will organise for the free kick. Monglu's been electric in this game so far. We just witnessed what Celtic could do from the corner on one side. What can they do with the free kick from the other? Gallagher, dipping ball, in it goes. Number 6 for Celtic, and it's Kelly Clark in the celebration. Her first league goal of the season. And the goals are flowing through Celtic again.
Yeah, again, you know, quality ball into the box. We spoke about, you know, the threat they pose at set pieces with, you know, Clark, Craig and Hayes going up, and it's Clark in this occasion. You know, the quality's on the ball. All you need is a touch, you know, and Lauren Perry's got no chance, and Kelly Clark's got her goal for today.
David Haley was hopeful of having her back for this one after missing out. Again, Stair United in the Scottish Cup, and that will signal a number of changes for Montrose. You can see Harkin and Gammy going off. Nyla Murphy on for her Montrose debut. Another arrival after a release from Dundee United. It's an opportunity now to get some minutes with her new team. Have an eye on whether there's any real change to the shape for Craig Ferro's side. Flo Bruce, another to come on as well, the number 16. She's been a heavy part of the squad this season. Involved as Partido doesn't look to slow down. Perry can take that one. Lauren Perry made a couple of important stops in the first half as well to keep Celtic at bay for a bit of time. Niamh Guthrie with a push on Caitlin Hayes. It goes down. The referee takes a bit of time, and among some flickers of snow there here in Airdrie. Celtic showing no sensitivity to the cold this afternoon. They're just heating up again. Amy Gallagher was speaking about momentum, how important that is for the team, but it's important individually too for these players. As she drills over, Carter manages to stop. I'm just happy to get it away. Gallagher just unable to find Montrose. He slides on the surface. Montrose made some changes. Now it's Celtic's turn. Jenny Smith will come on. And she'll replace Montrose. And Sydney Cummings will replace Kelly Clark, who signs off with Celtic's 6th goal. And Sydney Cummings scored her first for Celtic in that Scottish Cup win last Sunday. That's her 6th appearance in the league this season. A wise move, you feel, from David Haley, Suzanne, Kelly Clark coming back to the team this week. Celtic 6-0 up, and of course the new manager taking over tomorrow. Job done, really.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when take any risks at this stage, you know, Kelly Clark just getting back up to full speed. She'll be happy to have contributed with a goal today. And she's such an important player for Celtic, as you know, as we said, this second half of the season is going to be really important. You know, league and cup competitions, and you know, they want their captain and, you know, experienced player like Kelly Clark to be available to them.
Doherty collects and rolls out for Shent. Celtic goalkeeper on the ball once again. Looks for the players in space. Hayes one of those. Holly Daniel pushing her way forward. Burchell tries to take. Claren on possession. First sliding. Gets there first. Jenny Smith, the sub for Kavanagh. That one will roll harmlessly out for the goal kick. Craig Ferros has made some changes. He spoke after the win against Dundee United in December about how that result and performance will give his players confidence for picking up points in the rest of the season. Some important battles ahead against the teams around them in the league. Coming into this one, tied with Dundee United, just below them on goal difference. Montrose on 10th place to start this one, ahead of Spartans and Hamilton Accies. Celtic on the attack. Smith for Kavanagh. Is there another? Just over the crossbar and wide.
I think she was off balance there as she struck that one. You know, Jenny Smith sees her in space at the edge of the box, and I think just as she strikes it here, she loses her balance, and that one's way wide of the target.
There he gets things going again with the goal kick. Ross leaps and passes to Gallagher. He spins away once more. Partido's asking. Perry scrambles across, and she had to get that one out wide because Tyree Burchell was following in there in the 6-yard area, and she's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, Amy Gallagher, surprised to be honest to see her shoot from that range, but you know, it's a decent enough strike. You know, Perry's done well to get down and turn it wide, as you say, because Tyree Burchell was larking in and around looking for the finish for a hat-trick.
Attacker's instinct to follow the shot in. Shen Reddy's another Celtic corner. Cummings with the header. Angles it wide. Another Celtic defender with aerial presence for those attacking situations.
Yeah, they're so strong, as we keep saying, you know, at set pieces, and again it's, you know, Cummings this time who meets it and unfortunately doesn't get the connection she's looking for and behind the post.
Craig collects. You mentioned the reshuffle up front for Montrose at the start of the second half. A bit of one in the back since the substitutions have been made, as Callie Robbs moved into a more central area alongside Georgia Carter. Jade McLaren up into the midfield now alongside Flo Bruce there, the number 16, who's just trying to swipe the ball out of Celtic's possession. Ross threaded through for Partido. Burchell couldn't take the chance, neither could Gallagher. It's still alive though. Montrose just went to sleep a little at the back, and he'll be saved by the offside flag. Partido clipping that one up. So maybe a bit too much pace in it for Burchell there, Suzanne?
Yeah, I think there was. I think Partido's just tried to stand it up, perhaps get too much on it, and Tyree Burchell will be really disappointed she didn't manage to get her head on that, because the goal was open and glaring, and I'm sure she would love to get her hat trick here today.
Ross uses her body, takes away from McLaren. Daniel. Scotland Youth Internationals had the ball, stolen away by Caitlin Hayes, played in by Kavanagh. Gallagher, Jenny Smith waiting in the box, as is Hayes. She'll try to place it, only does so into the hands of Perry. Around the midway point of the second half, Celtic 6, Montrose 0. Montrose started the scoring. Gallagher, Kavanagh and Clark added. And Tyree Burchell has a double. Murphy just out-muscled by Caitlin Hayes. Kelsey Doherty offers an option outside of the penalty box. Daniel takes it down. Brown wins the race. That was the sliding challenge. Some claims for a Montrose free kick. McLaren mistimes that one. Kavanagh. Smith. 4 in the box for Celtic now. Ross. Gallagher. Montrose squeeze Celtic out. Niamh Guthrie unable to get there for Montrose. Smith to Kavanagh. Former Hearts to former Hibs. Another former Hibernian, Amy Gallagher. Brown stabs the ball forward. Bruce was hoping to give Niamh Guthrie something to chase, but there's a lot of ground to make up there. That must be frustrating as a forward player, Suzanne, when you're sometimes up there on your own, and Celtic have 3 there at the back in a position to allow another to go and take over possession of the ball.
Yeah, it's such a difficult ask for any player to play that, sole role up front, and particularly when your team aren't enjoying a lot of possession. You've been asked to try and hold it up and almost chase lost causes. But Guthrie is, she's doing her best up there to try and get a foot on the ball and get her team up the pitch. But, our team are exerting a lot of energy. Celtic are moving the ball fast, and it's becoming an increasingly difficult afternoon for Montrose.
Shen. He's waiting. And now Partido. Runs into Daniel. She's just looking to get the ball away from Montrose defensive zone. Gallagher knew where the ball was going before she received it. Celtic attacking. Ross supporting and striking. So close from Natalie Ross, but she can't add a 7th for Celtic.
I think she'll be really disappointed, if I'm honest there. You know, again, it's a great move. Amy Gallagher coming short, out wide, you know, out to Smith and then out to Kavanagh. We have a great link-up play, you know, since Smith's come on, and Natalie Ross, she's took the touch, she's got the time and space, and, you know, knowing her as a player, and, you know, she'd have been disappointed not to hit the back of the net there.
Another important piece for Celtic, re-signing for another 3 years earlier in the season. Another big bit of business for the club. Big leader. Here she is on the ball. Spread out for Kavanagh. Smith making the run forward, but Perry rushes out to sweep that one up. Touched on Kelly Clark earlier and her importance to the squad, Suzanne, but Natalie Ross is one that has really come back to Celtic rejuvenated again after quite some time out, and she'll be another important one for the new manager taking over too. Yeah,
I think Natalie Ross is probably one of the most important players in the Celtic team, if I'm honest. You know,
Montrose with a chance here though. I'll just come back to
yeah, no, Natalie Ross, she was a player when I played as well, you know, so competitive, as you say, such a leader as well for some of the young players in Celtic, to have her in and around the dressing room and having her on the training pitch day in, day out with the, you know, the attitude and the quality she possesses. You know, extending her stay at Celtic, you know, it's a great piece of business, and I think she'll be a big player for them in the second half of the season.
Shen with her eyes on the goal. Let's have another look at that one. It just drags it wide, but Lauren Perry did stick out her right hand just in case. Bruce gives it away. Smith, Virtual looking to play in the shoulder. It's good awareness from Tally Robb. Extended her stay for the season for Montrose. They have a goal kick for Perry to take. Claren looking to get in front. Murphy and a couple of sliding challenges potentially there. Gallagher made it, won the ball. Partido up against Taylor. Kavanagh trying to navigate a way through. Cummings with a late run forward. Ross. Smith. She'll look for the opposite side. He's stepping up. Taylor. There's Sydney Cummings. Eve Guthrie trying their best to get possession back into Montrose. Ross with the strike. Lifts that one high. Withers returning the first game back in 2024 for the SWPL action. Celtic with 6 goals so far. You just feel with the flurry of changes that we had too, and amongst that flurry of snow, Suzanne, that the pace may be just starting to drop a little, which might be natural after the period the players have had off.
Yeah, I think as you say, you know, the tempo of the game slowed down a bit. I think naturally when you make, you know, a number of changes, you know, that happens by its nature. You know, particularly from Montrose as well, they've put a lot of effort into the game. You know, some of the players will be feeling that tiredness now, and But Celtic, yes, the job is done, but they're more than aware of how important goals can be in this league campaign. They've seen it before, and I'm sure David Healy will be emphasising that message to his players that he wants them to keep going until the final whistle.
Montrose nearly had an opening there. Niamh Guthrie couldn't find the pass through for Murphy. Partido up against Taylor once more. The youngster has stood strong against Paula Partido in this game. Partido didn't play in the match that opened the league fixtures for these two. Bit of an injury up at Links Park. Celtic fans excited to see her in action, weren't able to do so. Here she is in the ball. Lovely move, and she drags it wide. Did she have an extra second to set herself? And Paula Partido unable to punish Montrose there.
Yeah, I think she did. What a ball from Shen. That's such a good ball. And she's got more time than she thinks there. She's rushed the shot and dragged it wide of the post. I think she could have just opened up her foot and placed it into the far corner. She'd done the hard work, and as I said a couple of moments ago, you've got to take your chances. I know the game from a points perspective is gone and in the bag for Celtic, but these opportunities could still go a long way in the context of this season.
Colette Kavanagh around Ross, drills over, and there is another goal. Amy Gallagher with that clever movement as always, and the deftest of touches, turns the ball into the goal, and it's Celtic 7, Montrose 0.
Yeah, I think as you said there, Stuart, that the phrase clever movement, watching Amy Gallagher all day, her movement is fantastic. She knows when to come short, she knows when to stay long, and in that occasion there, driving to the front post and getting enough on it and getting it into the back of the net, and Celtic 7 goals to the good.
And there is about to be a few changes for Celtic, with Murphy Agnew and Celia Barclay ready to come on, and David Haley chatting with Lucy Ashworth-Clifford. A big moment for her, and she's about to make her first Celtic appearance in just under 14 months after her ACL injury, the draw against Rangers in November 2022. And number 22, Amy Ridgway, on for Montrose. Another big player for Craig Ferraw's side, a goal scorer and attacker. And the break in play will allow the changes to be made. You can hear the Celtic support getting ready for the introduction of Ashworth-Clifford. They're playing a different role there, helping out Celia Barclay, but one that was really exciting Celtic supporters before her injury, Suzanne, and a really big player for the team to get back, for Elena Sariku as well, coming into the club. It just offers another option in this array of attacking talent that Celtic have. Yeah,
they do have that in abundance, and it is great for the team, but I think first of all for the person. You can see what her teammates are over there applauding her onto the pitch. It's such a lonely journey when you're injured as a player. It's so difficult to be on the sidelines watching, and you can see how important it is for her and her team, and that's it's a great moment for her, and I'm sure that she'll have a big say in the second half of the season.
Smiles all round, and it just shows what an important part of Celtic she is, even not being able to feature for so long. A heartwarming moment on a cold day where Celtic have been back in scoring fashion in the Scottish Women's Premier League. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Hayes lifts the ball over. Lovely movement through, and that one just drilled past the post. Celia Barclay was sliding in, Players gambling, nobody could get a touch. And what an introduction that would have been, following the applause from the rest of the players in the Celtic team for Lucy Ashworth-Clifford.
Yeah, it would have been, you know, straight involved in the action, and you know, a great ball across the face of the goal, and Barclay unlucky at the back post not to get the connection and get it into the back of the net.
A moment of concern for Lauren Perry. He requires a bit of treatment.
Yeah, I hope that's deep heat in a day like today, not the other one, because it's certainly cold enough.
The flicker of snow has stopped. Still a cold one for Craig Ferroz. David Haley back with a word with the coaching team, using the squad available. And there is the new Celtic head coach, as of tomorrow, taking over the first day officially at the club. Ashworth-Clifford, the challenge, she'll take the free kick. That's sometimes an important one too, Suzanne, after a long time out injured. That first challenge, and like you said, a cold afternoon like today as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know the fans weren't happy with that, but you know, Louise Brown has put in the challenge, and you know, I'm sure Lucy's, you know, delighted to be back involved. And as you say, sometimes it's good to get that early on and get through it. It puts your mind at ease a little bit after such a lengthy period on the sidelines.
Second chance to attack. Craig was peeling away in the box. Shen. Gallagher lines up the strike. Did it take a deflection? The officials say yes. Celtic corner. Amy Gallagher individually still looking to keep her attack up at the top of the league goal scoring charts. There's that busy goal line again. It's dropping. Now for Smith. And Craig. Drops to Shen. Barclay will keep it moving. Ashworth-Clifford lines up. It looked like a vicious strike, but comfortable for Lauren Perry. Ridgway wins above Kavanagh. She'll chase down Hayes. Shen looking to release Barclay. Murphy Agnew just ahead. It's great work by Tally Robb. Getting across, going to ground. Guthrie needs a bit of help. She'll peel away from Shen. Do what she can to try and find Amy Ridgway. Cummings cushions for Doherty. Montrose may be invited to get forward here. Be another change made by Craig Verros' side. There will be Amy Cully coming on. Niamh Guthrie, who's put in a lot of effort and work this afternoon to try and make things happen when the ball has been in the forward area for Montrose, is withdrawn.
Yeah, I think she's worked hard all day. You know, it is very difficult for the forward players of Montrose, and you know, she's getting a well-earned rest in terms of her efforts for her team today.
Can Montrose create here? McLaren. The flag raised by the assistant against Murphy.
I think as we've spoke though, Stuart, you know, days like today are not going to define, you know, Montrose's this season. You know, they've obviously got to, you know, look back at the game and, you know, assess where they could have done better, but I think, you know, they need to focus on, you know, how they've done against teams in and around them, and, you know, they can be positive about that and use that for their second half of the season.
They picked up 2 massive wins against Dundee United, with 3 goals being scored in both. I'm sure Dundee United manager Graham Hart might have something to say about that with the winner in December, but they've shown what they can do with the teams that they're competing with at the moment around the bottom of the table. And so many times last season the split was spoken about how important a part that played in the title race, but also similarly down the bottom of the league too, with a playoff there to contend for as well.
Yeah, I think so. You know, as you say, those 2 results against Dundee United, the result against Spartans as well, you know, who are traditionally more a top 6 side. Over the years they have been certainly as well. So, you know, I think Craig Ferros and his players, you know, they can be, you know, semi-pleased about, you know, their start to the season in the first half, and, you know, they need to focus on, you know, their nearest challengers and always competing and trying to pick up as many points as they can against them.
In a couple of weeks, league match coming up against Partick Thistle, which will be another tough one for his side. That one at the end of January. But when they'll play at Links Park, they'll look to make the home venue play an important part in that latter stage of the season. Gallagher picks up the ball, but will be denied any opportunity by the offside flag. The big games keep on coming for Celtic, not only in Cup but in league action. End of the month away to Glasgow City. That's one that's live on BBC Alba. A lot of eyes on the start Celtic make under the new head coach. Lucy Ashford-Clifford spots the run of Agnew, but there's one behind by Barclay. Murphy stabs away, can't find McLaren. Kavanagh. Brown has got rid of the gloves. Seems like she's been everywhere for Montrose this afternoon, despite the scoreline. She'll get back into the area to help her team defend a corner. It's Jenny Smith. Looks to keep Celtic springing forward. Just a few minutes to go until the full-time whistle. Shen over to take. Hayes, Cummings, Craig and Gallagher stand waiting. Hayes off the crossbar. Ross in the way. Agnew. And it's in. Sydney Cummings has another Celtic goal. Her first in the Scottish Cup last Sunday. And now she has her first SWPL goal. It's Celtic 8, Montrose 0.
Yeah, it's not a bad return for a defender, is it? Again, you know, it's such a quality ball into the box. Hayes this time. You know, it's not often we see Celtic score as many goals as they do, and Caitlin Hayes isn't on the score sheet. You know, but Cummings is delighted. The ball falls kindly to her and she just strokes it into the back of the net.
Well, Celtic already have goal-scoring defenders in their ranks. There's another announced in the last 7 days. Sydney Cummings. A well-placed finish. And despite maybe a drop in tempo, a drop in pace and intensity, Celtic still get chances right to the very end. And they keep adding the icing. On 3 points, another important 3 points. With momentum, another key word in the build-up to the restart of the league campaign. That'll hurt Craig Ferros. They're looking to just try and help his players' confidence, get the minutes through the players too. There'll be parts of the first half performance, and even maybe at the start of the second, that he'll take positives away from to build on. Because like you said, Suzanne, it's the games against the teams around the bottom 6 positions that are going to be huge for Montrose position in trying to have a second season in the top flight and allow Craig Ferros to build some more.
Yeah, I think so. I think they are the games that will define, Montrose's season. Of course, you've got to learn when you come up against top opposition. This is where they want to, really, really test themselves. They will have picked up invaluable, points from today's game in terms of their learnings and what they can do better as a group. But I think Craig Ferros will, focus on the positives, as you say, and get his team focused on really competing with those round about them, because to have another season in this league would be a great success for them.
Montrose will look to keep out Celtic in this stage in additional time. It's headed away, drops for Smith. Barclay laid off Gallagher. Loops that one over the crossbar. A couple for Amy Gallagher today. On to 18 in the league this season. Goals spread around the Celtic team. As the snow starts to settle in the air again at the Excelsior Stadium. Quick look at the watch from the referee. Not be too long left to play. Is there a final chance for Montrose? Demi Taylor on a brilliant run and not too far away.
If it's good play, good direct play, and with her left foot, it just unfortunately the ball's always spinning wide of the goal.
She could strike the ball brilliantly with that left foot. We've seen that this season. Another one of those players that only needs a moment. And the free kick goes against Demi Taylor and her teammates there. He starts again to Sydney Cummings, Celtic's latest goal scorer with number 8. Shen out for Ashford Clifford. Smith with the forward run. Picks up the ball. Away from the Montrose sub, Erin Ross. Now Shen. Celia Barclay. Over it goes, the header, daggered away. Murphy Agnew with the run in front of Gallagher. Some good Christmas card scenes, although a bit late, at the Excelsior Stadium this afternoon. Ashford Clifford through for Amy Gallagher. Touched for Agnew! And Celtic have number 9. They matched the scoreline from the start of the season at Links Park in August. And it's another Celtic goal scorer, Murphy Agnew, coming on as a sub. And that wraps up the points for Celtic, the scoring for Celtic on a wintry day at the Excelsior Stadium. Celtic 9, Montrose 0.
Yeah, it was great play again. Good ball wide. Amy Gallagher making that typical run, and I was actually surprised not to see her strike it, being on a hat trick, but it's really unselfish play and a great flick into the path of Agnew, who's not going to miss from there.
And almost the last kick of the game Murphy Agnew adding number 9. And the subs having a big effect on Celtic this afternoon too. Agnew's 6th league goal of the season. 4 goals in their last 3 league games. That makes it 5-4. And so much power through the Celtic team. And David Haley has had a few weeks to just continue the way Celtic go about their business. And he's done that securely with a Scottish Cup victory last Sunday, a 9-0 league victory to start back in 2024. And that will take them up to the top of the table, even if only temporarily. Montrose and Craigferroz will reset after this one and look towards the upcoming games over the next couple of months, with a league split looming too, where the competitiveness level drives up again. But the full time at the Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie, Celtic 9, Montrose 0. Some final thoughts from Suzanne Lappin.
Yeah, no, I think, from a Celtic perspective, the word to the day was momentum. They certainly brought that to the game, a real intensity, 9 goals to the good, matching the score of the previous game. New manager in the door tomorrow, so a really positive position for them. And we spoke about Montrose, about games like today not defining the season. I think they can be pleased with their work rate, and they'll go back up the road and focus on, what they can do in the second half of the season as well. But, a great game, great 3 points for Celtic, and, a lot of goals to the good as well.
Mentioned momentum a couple of times through the match. It's something that Celtic have always stressed when they're playing in a few competitions and a few fronts looking for success. One of the things that happen when you lose a manager is you're always wondering if there'll be a little bit of a blip, if there's that continuity isn't there and the players struggle with change. Obviously the manager's still to come in tomorrow, but you could see with Fran Alonso's exit, nothing seemed to change today, in the sense that the players know the way they've been playing, they know the style that Celtic play it, and the scoring's just as there as it was previously too. Yeah,
I think we spoke about losing a manager during the season can be difficult, but I think Celtic have shown over the years that the strength lies in the unity. They've always been a very together team, the players, the staff, the fans. And I think the new manager coming in, as we say, she's inheriting a very, very strong squad. I don't think she needs to make any massive changes, but I'm sure she'll want to put her style on the team. And they're in for a big second half of the season. We've spoke before about the title is the one that's eluded Celtic before, and I'm sure they'll be determined that that's the one that they get this season.
May is quite a bit away, but the race begins today in the Scottish Women's Premier League, with so much to be decided over the coming months. So much excitement ahead. A year ago, it's all changed from how things stood in the managerial positions. Celtic had Fran Alonso, Rangers had Malky Thompson, and Leanne Ross had just taken temporary charge of Glasgow City for the remainder of the season. It's a bit of a new look, but at the start of the SWPL again in 2024, after the winter break, it's the same style for Celtic as they start the New Year section of the league season with a victory, 9-0 against Montrose. My thanks to Suzanne Lappin for this afternoon, to the crew for bringing you Celtic against Montrose, and to you at home for watching. Please join us again in a couple of weeks. We'll be back on BBC Sports Scotland with more SWPL action. It's finished here at a wintry Excelsior Stadium with the snow still falling. Celtic 9, Montrose 0.